In this video, we'll be hunting 2 boxes of pennies, as well as see if we make any progress to the Penny Hunt and Fill album. Of course, we'll be looking for wheat scents from 1958 or older. Also be looking for any foreigns, proofs, errors of varieties, or any other interesting things we can find, as well as pull any shiny copper pennies we get, and seeing how much we can fill up the copper jar. Have checked for enders for both boxes. No enders for box 2, but we do have an ender for box number 1, and it's a good sign because we have a wheat scent ender right there in roll 40, so it's definitely a good sign for the box. Pretty sure these are sister boxes, so it's a good sign for box 2 as well, but let's start hunting box number 1, and I'll bring you in on the first find. Just opened roll 6, and I see the edge of the first wheat scent of the box, and I am noticing a lot of older coins and copper in these rolls, so I'm hoping that's a good sign. I see the first wheat scent right there, and it's going to be 1956 out of Denver. Still on roll 6, and that roll actually had 2 wheat cents. Just uncovered another one. This one's in the 40s this time. 1947 from Denver. Just opened roll 16, and I see the edge of another wheat cent. This is going to be the third for the hunt. See it right there. Wheat cent number 3 is going to be 1954 from Denver. Roll 20, and I see the edge of the fourth wheat cent for the box, right in the middle of the roll, right there. This wheat scent is going to be 1946 San Francisco. Just opened roll 29. Don't have another wheat scent, but just opened this roll. It's only a second Canadian of the box, but it's going to be an older one. Looks like it's going to be a young head, which it is. This one's from 1963. Definitely a cool find. Roll 41. Only a couple rolls after that last young head. We're going to have another one in this roll. Just open the roll. See the edge of another young head right there. This time we're going to have 1959. Another cool find. Roll 38. A couple rolls before that wheat scent ender. We're finally going to have another wheat scent. I think it's been like 20 rolls since our last one. This is going to be wheat scent number 5 for the box. It's right there in the back of the roll. This one's going to be 1948 out of Denver. Just opened roll 40, which was that wheat scent ender. I actually see the edge of another wheat scent in the roll a little later right there. So these are going to be wheat scents number 6 and 7 for the box. Reveal the ender first. The ender is 1946 Denver. Other wheat scent right here. That one's going to be 1946 out of Philly this time. Roll 42. I just uncovered wheat scent number 8. Hopefully we can get 2 more in the last 8 rolls to get double digits for the box. Only a couple coins in, I uncovered 1944 from Denver. Roll 47. Just uncovered wheat scent number 9, so now we only need 1 more to make 10 for the box. It's 1955 out of Philly. Not the DDO, of course, but still, good find. First penny box has been hunted. It was a pretty okay box. Didn't get double-digit wheat cents, but we got 9, which is pretty close. No old ones, no better dates, but I'll still take 9 wheat cents in the box. Canadians were a little light, only with 5, but 2 of those were young heads, which is cool to see. No other miscellaneous finds, really, but the thing that was really good for the box was the copper. There was a lot of copper in that box. Pretty much half the copper jar filled just in one box, which is most I've gotten in quite a while. The second box is a sister box. It looks like there's a lot of copper based on the enders, so maybe we'll be able to almost fill the copper jar with 2 boxes, which would be pretty amazing. So let's move on to box number 2. Hopefully we can get some good finds in this box. Roll 7 is going to give us the first find of box number 2. It's going to be a wheat scent. Just noticed by the edge at the end of the roll. It's just a corroded one right here. Very, very rough shape, but it is 1953 from Denver, I believe. Roll 13, just uncovered another wheat scent. I do want to make a correction. That last wheat scent's actually 1955 out of Denver. Really damaged, couldn't really tell. It doesn't really matter though, since it's just one from the 50s. This other wheat scent isn't going to be a 50s as well. Definitely a lot nicer than the last one. 1952 from Denver. Just opened roll 23. I see the edge of the third wheat scent for the second box. Not a super hot box, but hopefully it can heat up near the end. Either way, at least we're still getting a few finds. Here's the wheat scent. This time we're going to have 1944 out of Philly. Roll 34. Finally going to have another wheat scent. This is only the 4th one of the box, but we're getting a find every once in a while at least. Missed it when I opened the roll because it's super corroded. It just looks like a damaged zinc scent, but it is definitely a wheat scent, just very damaged. It's 1944 from San Francisco. Roll 37 of the second box. We're finally going to have the older Sweet Scent of the Hunt. It's a first pre-40s of the Hunt, and it's a good one. 1928 out of Denver, and it's actually in really great shape for being from the 20s. Yeah, full wheat stalks on the back and everything. Really nice shape. Already did look in the album. We somehow already have a 28 Denver, and the one we have is also pretty nice. So, not sure if this one's going to upgrade, but either way, very nice wheat scent from the 20s. Probably in XF condition, in my opinion. A little green dot there and that black toning, but besides that, really, really nice shape for being from the 20s. That is an amazing find. Next roll, it's going to have another wheat scent, so box number 2 is definitely heating up near the end, which is good. It's almost one away from being an ender. It's the last year, 1958 from Denver. Both penny boxes have been hunted, so let's go over the finds. Ended up with 8 1959s, a lot of estimates. I'm pretty sure this might break my record for 2 boxes. We ended up with 36, which is pretty cool. Pretty sure it's because of the amount of copper we get, but we'll get to that later. Also, very few 2009s, again, probably because of the amount of copper. Only ended up with 19 for the 2 boxes. Foreigns, we only had 8, which is, again, pretty light. All of them were Canadian. Did get a couple older ones, though. 1959 and 1963 Younghead, which are cool to find those. One miscellaneous find, I didn't bring you in for it, but it's a 1977 Philly. You can see on the top right a little bit of weakness on the rim. I think this is going to be just a very, very tiny clip planchet. You can see it on the reverse as well. With it being this small, probably has no value at all, but I just pull it aside just because I noticed it. Pretty sure it's what it is. Either way, it's probably just worth face value, so it's so minor. Now, let's get on to the wheat scents. A little bit light for the 2 boxes. Only 15 for the Hunt, 9 for box 1, 6 for box 2. Only one really better one to show for it, which was a pretty good one, a 1928 Denver. It's actually in pretty nice shape, probably a VF or an XF condition. Very nice for one from the 20s, even full detail on the reverse. Not sure if it's going to upgrade. The one we have is pretty nice, but either way, that's a really nice find for the box. Also did get a full set of 44s and 46s, even though I didn't get many wheat scents, which is kind of a cool coincidence. Lastly, for the copper, I'm pretty sure I broke my record for 2 boxes. I've never filled the jar before, I don't think, and we filled the jar, and plus, we had to start putting some in this empty box because we got so much copper. A lot of nicer shaped ones, as you can see. I think someone might have dumped some rolls of later 70s or late 80s with some similar toning, I noticed, but ton of copper, light find still. Pretty good hunt, I'd say, overall, especially with that 28 Denver. So I'm not sure if we're going to have any album progress. We'll definitely look and see. So I'll go through the finds and bring you back with an update of the album. Just finished updating the album, and as we knew, we didn't have any additions in this hunt, but we did get one upgrade. It was not the 1928 Denver. I just like the look of this one, the album more. The other one had a little bit more detail, but I just like the way this one looks a little bit better. But the coin I upgraded was in the Memorial Scents. I did forget to mention this in the wrap-up, but there are a lot of BU 1985 Denvers in both boxes. Looked like there are either 1 or 2 BU rolls of them dumped. So I used the best one of those and used that to upgrade the album there. So not a major upgrade, just a light Memorial Scent, but did still make a little bit of progress in the hunt, which I like to see. Anyways, even though the finds were a little bit light, this was still a very fun Penny Hunt album fill series episode.